the markets overall, and right now we're looking at a healthy market. Being a Friday, last hour of trade would be actually very important. But let's talk about all of that, take a step back and talk about market factors at play with Pradeep Gupta of Anand Rathi is joining us on the show today. Pradeep, good afternoon. Thanks so much for your time. First of all, want to understand after this very sharp correction which made a lot of participants nervous regarding the geopolitical issues, all of that. But purely on valuation terms, what did you make of that? Do you think market did enter a comfortable zone for long-term portfolio construction around those levels on Tuesday lows?
Thank you, Ajay, and my best wishes to all the viewers of ET Now. Ajay, to your question, I think we must clearly understand this market works in two ways. Always on short term, it works on sentimental and whatever event-based things are happening. I think it reacts on those matters. And then long term, it start catching up the fundamentals. So if you are asking me that what had happened in post Tuesday when market was almost at a lower level, again, it started rebound. Was it a right time to invest? I would say yes, because long-term fundamental story of our country and these markets are still intact. And we believe that 1 year, 3 year and 5 year perspective, whosoever is looking at these markets, I think are going to make money because the growth perspectives are still intact. Growth is happening. And we believe this is going to be the future, growth story, which is going to bring the market valuations in a positive territory.
Right. Pradeep, I know you guys manage or advise some of the, high net worth individual clients, UHNIs at your company. And this category of investors have become pretty influential over the last couple of years and quarters. In fact, if you club it up with the retail participation, then we are almost dulling out the effect of big FII selling for over 7-8 months now. When you speak to them or your representatives speak to them, what is the sense you are getting? Are they sitting on cash? Are they comfortable buying in this corrective phase?
Yeah, definitely. They do have cash available with them. And as and when opportunity arises, most of these investors are, looking for the opportunity to invest in these markets. To be really frank with you, if you really look at it, FI selling and then, positively buying is coming. By and large, over here in our country, if you really see, equity is an asset class which is giving reasonably good return. And people are absolutely positive in growth story as well as thinking that if they are going to stay from a long-term perspective, they are going to make better or more money than any other instrument or any other asset class. And that's what is happening. So as I said, I think intermittently, whenever, sentiment impact is started overpowering these markets, you will see a reaction. People stay in wait for a right time and trying to see that, cloud of uncertainty goes away, fade away. And the moment it starts happening, they again started, investing gradually in these markets.
Yesterday's election win, just to revisit that point, however short term it might be, but the UP verdict came in at 270, higher than what generally the street was estimating, around 220, 230 at best. Other state elections, BJP win came as a surprise. Had it been an ordinary market circumstances and global headwinds would not have been there, perhaps market would have jubilated more. But if you see, do you think this cements the BJP's position now and gives them momentum for 2024? Because between now and 2024, market will gradually start looking at whether the leadership has momentum intact with them or not.
I think, Ajay, this elections where, 4 out of 5 states, BJP government has definitely started giving a positive trend and positive mindsets amongst people as well as politically also. And I think it's going to help in terms of if you are talking me about 2024 kind of election. Yes, these are positive trends, but the election and political uncertainty and certainties are very much different. In 2024, what is the kind of a mood likely to be there amongst the people who are going to go for poll is also going to matter. But right now, if you really see every single person, if you talk to them, most of them are happy, are positive, and are pro these policies which have happened. And that's the reason you are seeing whatever development or positive attitude is being shown by the polling booth at a polling booth. I think the result of that, and definitely market has taken it in a positive manner. And I would say part of it is already been discounted initially, because in market grapevine, forget about exit poll or anything else, but I think in grapevine people were talking that in few states this government is going to get positive results.
Pradeep, I'm not sure whether you can talk stocks, but if you can share some themes or spaces or sectors where at least at your firm there has been big interest, buying interest from influential investors in the last few weeks. Where are the areas positions are being built in expectation where margin of safety is better if one were to look at 12 to 24 month horizon?
Yeah, Ajay. So from a sector perspective, I think the growth story we believe is still intact, and long-term growth trend. I think most of these sectors which are presently available in the country are going to grow. But immediately, what we are suggesting from our research point of view, and most of these people are looking at, there is an infra story which is going on. So infrastructure-related sector, I mean, are going to do good. Financial stability will start happening, and the moment it is going to happen, because we have seen sea change in the past, and now is a time probably people will start looking at financial sector. So banking and financial is another sector where people will start working on and looking at. Consumption and story, local domestic consumption stories are also again going to be very strong, and I believe that story is going to work. Chemical story, I mean, specialty chemical story is already there in the market, and I think keep on strengthening. So these are the stories which are going to be there. Defense story is another story which is happening in the market, I think, because of various spending by the government on defense sector side. So I think these are the few sector. Metal story again, because of a whole of a capital market related activities are started happening, investments towards capex is start going to kick in few of a sector. So capital market related story or capital sector related stories are also going to be there in this market.
Pradeep, one last question. Look at how the stock of BSE has hit a lifetime high today. CDSL is at a fresh 52-week high. All these market infrastructure companies, in fact, when we speak to ICICI Securities and some of your peers in the industry, big addition to the client base continues to happen. See, you are a kind of an insider of the industry, which is pure market related financial services. I'm not asking for anything very specific or secretive, but if you could share, how's the health of the industry? Does it look durable? Is this shift from hard asset to financial assets, and hence stock market is a place where flows are coming? Does it look sustainable? And how do you see the medium term to long term outlook for all these market related businesses?
So Ajay, I think, let me tell you very clearly, I think in the past 2 years, most of these market related players who has really done good job and service to the clients have increased their clientele base, and in turn also got huge big volume. If you compare the volume size, I think 40-50,000 crore kind of a per day delivery based turnover was happening. I mean, cash market turnovers were happening, which has gone to almost 70-80,000 crore per day kind of a volume. Similarly, similar kind of a trend have also been seen in derivative market turnover space also. So I think lots of activities has happened, and every single player have multiplied and earned reasonably good or very good. So I think from that angle, fundamentally and financially, I personally believe every single person has strengthened their positions and are strong enough at the moment. And probably that's the reason every single person is thinking, whosoever is a long-termish kind of a player, is thinking to expand their network or expand their business cycle also, or businesses also.
One quick follow up on that. Now that there are a lot of new age businesses also coming in, the Grows, the Zerodas of the world, which are increasingly making the environment of market related businesses quite competitive. Sure, there is volumes, but costs are also something players such as yours have to keep in mind. Are you being able to keep costs under check by high utilization of technology? Are the volumes making up for these costs coming under pressure, and how's profitability outlook in general?
Yeah, so Ajay, I mean, in our kind of an industry, largely it's more of a technological driven, and I think until unless any player who is not going to adopt the digital change in their deliveries, I think he has to improve the technological platform and work towards digitization, and that's the future. So I think, and that's the way only, I mean, he can or anyone can reduce their costs, because there are various other costs which are already there, which is going to increase. So I think they are going to maintain, and I think whosoever player who wants to stay from a long-term perspective and large enough, I think they have gone and spent a lot of money towards automation or digitization and working towards it. You have named two players. They have started their businesses with digital platforms only and keep on increasing their platform, along with obviously reducing the brokerages, which is a discount broking house. That's another model all put together to my mind. But yes, that model is also working very fine, which is a low cost and absolutely a low revenue generating model, where high turnover kind of a thing or high volume kind of a business which is happening. So that is one model. Another model also requires lots of digitization. Unless people are not going to adopt digital technological platform into their deliveries, I think it's going to be tough for them. So I think most of the players are doing that, and I believe most of them, whosoever has gradually adopting and increasing their deliveries on digital platform, I think are generating certain amount of good profits.
One last question back on markets, Pradeep, before we let you go. For the next 2-3 year kind of a horizon, the kind of data which is coming on the table, be it macro data, micro data, participation in the market, all of that, leverage in the system, who would know better than you? Do you think the odds look better for large cap universe to be held in larger quantity in your portfolio? Or you think small cap, mid cap also has turned attractive now because of the correction?
So Ajay, my view, and we always suggest there has to be a balance between large and mid cap, not only mid cap, not only large cap. But having said that, whenever you are talking, because you have a risk associated to these large and mid cap, so you have to understand very clearly. But second thing is there, that in India, I mean, I think our story and long-term story is going to stay and persist with mid and small cap, because of a simple reason: lots of new players who are coming and growing in the system and becoming large cap over a period of time. And that's where you will be able to catch higher growth and higher returns, in turn higher returns if you are investing. The issue is you have to keep invested and stay invested in those kind of good stories or good stocks for a longer term period. Coming back to your question, right now, large cap versus mid cap, I think my view is going to be large cap first, because of a simple reason. Right now, so much uncertainty is there. Geopolitical tensions are there, and lots of events or impacts are there. So you believe, and you have to have a large cap portfolio tilted story for a few months, till the time these uncertainties goes away or fade away from the side.
All right, Pradeep, thanks very much for your time. It was great chatting with you today on the show.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
That was Pradeep Gupta of Anand Rathi Financial Services. Time for a short break. On the other side of the break, we'll get you a big FII voice, one of the biggest